Welcome back to this Copilot Carnival. And today we have a especially interesting, I guess we'll call it a freak show today.
Oh, jeez.
Devin will be driving the entire time while I walk him through how to build a Copilot Studio example.
Okay.
So that's why I'm wearing my glasses today, so I can see Devin's screen.
Okay.
And so today we're going to build an example that we found that schools are using all around the world. That's one of the common examples. It is, how do I figure out, how do I do a software request? I want some certain software installed. Has it been approved by IT? And if it has, I want to get, or if it's not, I want to do a request to get that software.
Okay, so that's not specific to schools either, right?
No,
any
no.
organization could use something like that.
Whether it be IT support cases or a software request form or any kind of form,
Right.
we'll follow the same kind of processes here.
Okay, makes sense.
So to start with, Devin, we want to make sure we have those files downloaded because we're going to need a few of those files today. Then what we're going to do here, the reason why we're choosing Copilot Studio in this example is this is internal, yes, but we also want to make it agentic where it could create the case for us. It can create a ServiceNow case or a dynamic CRM case, or a customer service case, or whatever our choice of a system is.
So it's probably worth, we talked about this in the previous sessions, but in case somebody's watching this video new, it's probably worth differentiating why we would do Copilot Studio versus Studio Lite or...
Yeah, so there's, as Devin mentioned, there's two ways of creating agents. There is the Copilot Studio Lite, our agent builder, and that's more meant for internal use. Well, not meant, more meant, it is definitely meant for internal use, and it is not typically agentic yet.
Okay.
This one we want to put on numerous websites potentially, for students to download. This would be licensed differently. It's not licensed per user. It's licensed based on our consumption or the credits that are using it.
Okay.
And we can put it where we want to put it. So that'd be our example.
Nice. Okay.
All right. So once you have the files downloaded, you can find those files at the in the description of this video. So you'll find that in the YouTube description. You can also go, if that has not worked for you, aka.ms/Copilot Carnival. This is a live session, so we are answering questions as we kind of describe all this stuff. So Devin, I'll be manning the chat while you man the rest of the work. Do all the work yourself.
I feel like I'm your puppet, and I'm your extension of your arms.
There we go. Yes, exactly. So to start with, you want to go to that folder, or download that, or just open the link. And we're going to need a few files. We're going to go to the IT room folder here. And inside the IT room folder, and this is an example you can play along with us here. So this example is meant to be hands-on if you want it to be. So keep in mind you can pause this. Dev and I have both had a Mountain Dew for lunch today, so we're jacked up on the dew right now. So we may speak a little fast. However, feel free to pause this anytime. So you want to open up in the IT room folder. There's going to be a Word doc, and this is session 3 of our Copilot Carnival. So it'll be the Word doc right there with our demo prompts. We'll be using that today. As well as the other folder underneath there is a Copilot Studio example folder as well. Those are the two areas we're going to have you go to in a moment.
All right, let me just highlight those. So we're going here and opening this. Got it.
So we'll get our files from the folder and our prompts from the Word doc.
And we say files, those are our knowledge sources that are going to drive where the information is coming from.
That's what's going to tell us is the program you want downloaded good or bad from an IT perspective.
Okay.
All right, so those are our 4 PDFs around that.
Got it.
All right, so Devin, let's go and start to work through this now. Okay, so let's go over here and we're going to build our first agent. Now, you have a Devin Knight environment open, so what you did first is go to copilotstudio.microsoft.com. It may have you sign up for a trial. You can also use the Power Apps developer plan to create an environment for you as well. So once you have this, and we have other videos we kind of walk through creating environments. Right. So go look at the top right and you will see a list of environments. Devin is in his Devin environment right now, but you might see tons of them right now. We're in a development environment to kind of play with. And this environment, just for those that are curious, are things like development, QA, and production.
Yeah, it's a container that holds your collateral you build, right?
Exactly. Okay. Hold your apps, your workflows, your agents, and your websites, and a database called Dataverse, and a list of users and all that as well.
All right. Well, I'm using my personal development one that I have for free here today. So let's rock it. Let's do it.
All right, cool. And any environment you choose is not the wrong not wrong at all. But typically you want to start in a development environment. So let's go over to the agent section on the left, and you'll notice that on the screen Devin's at now, he can start building by describing right there as well. But we're going to go ahead and build it the manual way instead.
Okay.
So let's go for that. So on the left side, let's go ahead and click on the agent section on the left side. Okay. Once you do that, it'll take you to show you a list of all the agents that have already been created. And we're going to start, Devin, with a blank agent up top. So if you click on that blank agent right there, now there is an advanced mode which it'll use a solution.
We talked a little bit about that yesterday.
Yep. That's the correct way of doing it. However, we're going to go ahead and do it the easy way, the quick and dirty way.
Okay.
We're going to try to get you in and out of this in 40 minutes or less.
All right.
Can we build a Copilot Studio agent in 45 minutes? We'll find out.
I think we can. Let's do it.
All right. So again, we have the do, so we're powered by the do. All right, so here it goes. It's going to start creating. Notice up top it says it's creating. So it's doing some work right now. We can't do a whole lot until it finishes that process. This will take about a minute or two to do this process. Now, let's kind of walk through some navigation while it's doing its thing here.
Okay.
So let's start on the top here. You'll notice a number of tabs, and those same tabs are also in the screen that Devin's at right now. So if he scrolls down a little bit, you'll see instructions, knowledge, and so on and so on and so on, tools, and all of that. Those match the same screens, same tabs you see up top as well. So if we start off, let's kind of get everybody oriented here. Now here agent's already built, so that's okay. We'll come back to it though. But it turns green, letting you know that you can start your work. But let's start in the knowledge tab and kind of walk through what each of these does.
Okay.
The knowledge tab is a list of how do we want to train this brand new employee that we've created. So think of an agent like we're opening up a call center and we have this brand new recruit, brand new employee that we just hired. Right now, he doesn't know how to do any of the work. He is brand spanking new. We're going to hand him an employee handbook, a standard operating procedure on how to process cases, and then whatever else we want to teach it with. That knowledge that Devin was in that tab before, that knowledge is the knowledge tab. Those can be things like database records. They can be things like ServiceNow. They can also be PDFs. We'll be using PDFs in our example here. That's the knowledge tab. The next tab as we go through this are tools. Now, let's go back to our earlier analogy here. Devin, would you hit the add tool? We're not going to use any for this example, but would you hit add tool and just kind of show a few of these off here?
Sure.
So as he does this, you'll notice all these tools that we have. So now, let's go back to our analogy before. We have that brand new employee who now has a knowledge of how to do this stuff, but doesn't have any tools, doesn't have a phone yet, doesn't have a computer yet, doesn't know how to send an email out yet. These tools that you're seeing on your screen right now are different types of devices that that new employee can use. So if you want to teach that employee how to use Teams, Devin can click on the Teams one. Or if you want to teach that employee how to write to OneDrive, or how to write a Word doc, or how to create a ServiceNow ticket, that's what all these different tools will do for you. You want to typically limit your tool list to about 5 or 6 at most, because the more you add, the more it's going to get confused on how to do things. It might say, well, do you want me to use Word or do you want me to use PDF? And it gets a little confused by that. We can also call out these tools in our instructions later.
Okay.
So we can say like, hey, build a legal document based on this /tool.
Okay.
And it would create a PDF potentially.
So kind of similar to how you would call grounded material in a prompt, you can do that in the instructions for these connections. Got it.
You'll also see MCP, our Model Context Protocol there. MCPs are these new types of tools that are like Swiss Army knives. So for example, you'll see one for Dynamics there, one for Word. These tools are less like APIs, and they're like a layer that sits on an API. There's a Word one right there, for example. So think about when you want to build a program, you have to have an API for creating the file, one for maybe reading the file, one for creating folders, and so on and so on and so on, all within the Word platform, or all within the Teams platform. MCPs give you one tool that does everything. So it basically obfuscates all that, becomes super easy. You don't have to know the API, it just knows how to do it by describing what you want to do.
And if MCPs in general are new to you, I do have a video that we just put on the channel last week that kind of describes those in a short amount of time. So
that was a really cool one. That was all about Power BI with MCPs.
Well, this one was general. Power BI MCPs coming soon, but I did kind of a general overview of what MCPs are, talk through them in that video. So check it out. It's on the AI Academy channel.
That's awesome. That's awesome. On the same channel you're in right now, so please do subscribe so you get more videos like that. All right, so let's keep on going here. That was tools. Again, limit the number of tools to about 5 at a most. The next one are agents. Again, let's go back to our agent, our new employee. All right, our new employee is going to be a specialist. he's focused on just doing billing disputes or just doing cancellation at our call center. So an agent can call other agents. So for example, you might have a manager agent who's taking the request and then sending those over to an employee perhaps. If Devin were to hit add here, for example, we're going to see a list of all the agents we can call another child agent, or we can call things like other agents that Devin's created, or if he hits connect to an external agent, check this out on the right side, we can go out to Microsoft Foundry, which gives us access to 15,000 models, or even Microsoft Fabric. Microsoft Fabric allows you to go out there and actually call out to your data, treat that question, turns it into a query, and comes back with a data answer. So how many sales did I have in January? It can do all that for you.
Nice. I love it.
Now, this is what agents can do. So typically what you want to do is keep your instructions nice and tight and have specialists inside your call center. So Devin's specialist might be just creating a software ticket, for example, that does certain things, where my manager will figure out, hey, I'm gonna get manager approval for this, or I'm gonna do this. You have a manager that calls all these children that are a specialist. Just like a call center.
Nice.
So babies calling babies. All right, let's keep on going. All right, so the next one are going to be topics. And topics are specialty kind of instructions. So when somebody says, hey, I want to create a new software request for a software tool that does not exist yet, we might have a whole specialty workflow that will ask them a series of questions to kind of pre-approve that or pre-deny that for them. So this tool is essentially a workflow. Do this, do this, do this, do this. It can also call out to things like AI Builder, where it can make decisions for us. Hey, the person said they want Call of Duty. And it's not on our list of approved or rejected. Based on their purpose, it looks like it's for fun. So does that make sense? So you can do those automatically. So if you want to control that end user experience really tightly, then topics are where you're going to do that.
So topics are going to have inside of them particular phrases, right? So if the user that's interacting with the agent types in a particular phrase like requesting software, and there could be other things after
right.
it. But if it sees that phrase or at least something similar to it, it'll kick off that
right.
topic, right?
And this is a remnant of what we had in the past. This is the remnant of Power Virtual Agents,
right.
which you used to love and specialize in ages ago.
Yeah.
But now, back then we had to have topics. Now we're going to do as much in the instructions as we can, not destructions. And if we need some kind of specialty, then we'll build topics around that. Matter of fact, this example will have a topic today also.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, that's that one tab. Activities, where we'll just touch on this briefly, where we can see all the chats that have come in from a debug perspective and trace down why did it get the wrong answer. Evaluation, this is a new area, but a really handy area. New like a couple of months old here in February we're in right now. This allows us to build a whole bunch of tests that says, hey, I changed my instructions, run this battery of tests, and make sure I get the correct answers out of that. I'm expecting when you ask this question for it to create a case and give me a case number back. Or I'm expecting it to say a number back. Did I get that? Or did it give me an error? So you can build these battery of tests, and changing one word in your instructions could cause a problem. So this is going to make sure that that problem is not met. Next, we have the analytics tab. This is where we go through and see a holistic view of all the chats that have come in, what channels they came in, do they give those thumbs up, thumbs downs, and once we start getting some history in here, we'll see all that inside of our area.
How's that, just curious, how's it different than activity?
Activity is really granular.
Okay.
At one given chat, this is going to roll it up for you and allow you to kind of see holistically at an aggregate level, do you have thumbs ups and thumbs downs?
Gotcha. Okay. Makes sense.
Cool. And the last one, most important one for us, are channels. Where do you want to send this agent now that you've built it? Do you want to build it on a website? That would be web app. Do you want to put it on Facebook? Of course, that's an obvious one. Or do you want to put it inside of Teams or M365? So that is all options for you. So we can build here, and even users that don't have an M365 Copilot license can then use it, and they'll use our metered version of it, our licensed version of it here.
And what is the diamond icon indicating there for us?
Yep, that means that we need to be licensed for all these.
Gotcha.
So now, additionally, inside of this, you'll notice that there are things like phone calls. We can literally have this as a phone call coming in, And as the phone call comes in, it can automatically create cases for us. That will be things like dynamics in there. We have ServiceNow, all sorts of goodies inside of here where we can embed this right into ServiceNow if we wanted to. All right, enough of the orientation. Let's get back to the Overview tab to tell what we're going to do next, step by step.
All right, back over here.
All right, so we're back in the Overview tab. We'll hit the Edit button, the first Edit button, where it says the name of the agent. Let's give it some kind of name here, Devin. Let's give it a name. I don't know.
Software request agent.
That sounds good. Let's go with that. Now, as Devin types in a description underneath it, this is exactly what your users are going to see as they shop for this agent. As they go to the internal marketplace saying, or go to Teams, they're going to see this description inside of your panel also.
Okay.
So give it a description of whatever you wish as well, Devin. Doesn't really matter. Blah, blah, blah is absolutely fine. Okay. Now this does not impact our instructions in any way. It just makes it where we can see that. Now you have to hit the Save button first before we can go to the next step. All right, do little mini saves here along the way. All right, the next is the model that you want to use. If you hit the drop-down box there, you'll remember yesterday we turned on Claude inside of our environment. So this is the Anthropic model. Now, there's also ways to access up to 15,000 other models, and that's in the agent section you saw earlier, where we created an agent that goes out the Foundry. So this allows us, based on our use case, and you may have to play with this a little bit, find the best model and the cheapest model for our use case. Typically speaking, 4.1 is eventually going to go away and replaced with GPT-5 Auto. They're probably doing some more testing on that. The 5.0 Auto will pick the right model for you based on, do I need to do some deep thought or some quick thought? I love Claude for doing any kind of really deep knowledge. It is experimental, but it's really, really good right now. All right, good enough. We'll stay with 4.1 for the time being. Okay. But definitely play with that. Now for the instructions, this is the most important part, and you can try to do as much in the instructions as you can. Let's hit the Edit button right there on instructions. Again, this is the Overview tab. And as we type in instructions, just a few things to note here. If Devin were to do a / right there, notice that it lets him go out, call out to different topics, and call out to other tools. The interface is a little bit goofy, so you might have to hit that Add button or not be zoomed in to see that. But there's topics and there's tools that you have access to, none of which we really have. There we go. And you actually can reference variables even if you wanted to. So all of those you can say, call out to this tool upon this scenario, or you can call out to Power Effects if you're a Power Apps developer, you know what that means. In our case, though, let's open up that Word doc, and we are going to steal our prompt. So again, that Word doc was, look at Devin's top there, it says, what was it called again there, Devin?
Let me just go back to the folder so everyone knows where we're at. Let's go back over to right here. So this is inside the Carnival class files that you can download. Inside the IT room, we are looking at the session 3 demo prompts. So if you open up that Word doc, you'll be looking at the same thing as me here.
Okay, now if we scroll down a little bit here, Devin, you'll see a big boxed area. There it is, with purpose and so on and so on. It's a rather large prompt, and it's not perfect. Now, what I would typically do, if you go and copy and paste that into that instructions panel, while you're doing that, we'll talk over this. One of the ways that Devin can improve this, he can add guardrails, very important. He can also copy this into something like regular M365 Copilot and say, hey, I want an agent to do X, Y, and Z. Improve my prompt. Here's my prompt, and give me Markdown that I can copy and paste back into Copilot instructions. It will give you some gloriously, beautifully instructions that will look way better than what I'm doing here. This was just an artifact at 11:30 at night in a hotel room, probably.
Cool.
So, looks good. Now that we have that, you can save that. Can do a lot of micro saves here, as you can see. All right, give that a second. Perfect. Now, we can add knowledge here, but let's go and show a few more things before we add knowledge. There's the tools and triggers and all those kind of things. Now, before we do that, triggers here, this is interesting. The trigger section will say, how is this agent called? Well, right now it's only called through chat prompts.
Right.
But it also might be called through an email being received or through a text message being received. So that trigger can be whatever you want. There's hundreds and hundreds of them there. But it does not have to be something that interacts with you. For example, Devin, if you click on the add trigger just for giggles here, Devin and I have one that monitors our email. So our trigger is when an email arrives. That's an agentic agent, right? It's doing all the work for us. You can say, hey, when a new channel message arrives in this one channel, then go ahead and respond to that like you're a human. So those are all agentic agents that they're doing the heavy lifting for us. These are the featured ones you see here, but you also have the all folder, which gives you more. So for example, you could have an agentic agent that watches the SharePoint list. And when a new file is added, it kicks off a whole series of workflow processes and makes some decisions based on that.
A lot of Power BI ones in there too. So I saw one that's based off of alerts. So it could be, hey, if your dashboard has a visual that goes over a certain value, then you want to fire off this.
Exactly.
Yeah,
make some decisions, figure out who to fire, and go ahead and do the work. Awesome. So let's go ahead and cancel this. We're not going to change this. By not changing this, it'll be chat-based only in our case. All right, so let's go to the Knowledge tab here.
All right,
No questions so far. Again, it's a live session, so if you have any questions, feel free to ask, and we'll answer them live right now. All right, so let's go ahead and add some knowledge here for us. We'll hit the Add Knowledge button. And there are 4 files we talked about earlier in the folder in the IT room. So in the IT room, you want to download these files, of course. And it is, what folder is that, Devin? By zooming in?
Yeah, let me go back here just to tell you how I got here. So this is where we left off. We were in the IT room in the class files earlier. You just a moment ago, you looked at the Word document, but now we're going to have you go into the Session 3 Copilot Studio folder, and you're going to need to download these. You won't be able to just grab them from OneDrive here. You'll have to download these 4 PDFs to be able to bring them into Copilot Studio. These are going to be our knowledge sources where the information for our agents come from.
Awesome. And Wendy, I might need some clarification. I saw that Wendy just asked a question about, are these triggers defaults in a list? I might need some clarifications on what you mean by that question. So if you don't mind, just kind of type in again there, and I'm happy to answer that question there for you. Wendy's one of our favorites this week.
Yeah, she's been hanging out with us.
Yeah. All right, so Devin has that folder up. He can drag those 4 files over. He can also group the files. But what's going to happen next is he'll hit the Add to Agent button. One thing to note while this is adding, it's going to start to index these files. Now, as he adds this, it's going to start to index it. And these files, as you go from dev to QA to production, are not going to come over with it. They're going to stay in whatever environment. So you'll have to re-add the files again when you get to production.
Okay. And you mentioned adding as a group. What does that mean? What does that do?
So that basically, you say these group of files are for this use case and for allowed software packages, for example. And these are not, and these are for pending ones. So you can kind of create groups of files.
Basically, almost like a folder. It's more of a logical grouping.
Yeah, a logical group, almost like a folder. Good question.
Gotcha.
All right, so let's click on that approved one there, for example, and just kind of show a few things about that approved software list.
All right.
All right, here's a clarification from Wendy here also. All right, this makes a lot more sense. So when you show the list of triggers, did you build them? Or are those already there from this place that they're from? That makes way more sense, Wendy. I apologize. Yeah, your question earlier made sense also. So yes, these triggers that we showed a moment ago are defaulted there. Based on your IT administrator, they can turn off certain types of triggers also. But yes, those are automatically there for you, and there are hundreds and hundreds of them there, if not thousands of them there for you.
Gotcha. So if you're not seeing them, it could be something on the administration side that's been tweaked or turned off.
Right,
Okay.
right. And we showed pieces of that yesterday when we were deep there.
Okay.
Awesome. Thanks, Wendy. All right. So now notice this. This is the properties of this file. Now he clicked on the approved PDF to get here, enter knowledge. Now the first thing you want to do is change that description there, Devin. Right now, maybe it just says the knowledge source includes whatever. Let's go ahead and say the list of approved software for our university, or for our K-12, or whatever you want to call it, for our organization. Okay, cool. All right, now you'll notice the include, exclude. You can actually make sure these are only available on certain topics or at certain times. And on the right side there, you'll see it's being indexed still. We can also declare this an official source. Now what that basically means is it's going to prioritize this a little higher, and it's also going to give a little caption. So if Devin were to toggle that on, it's going to give him a warning saying, hey, do you want to add this as well? So it's making this source more authoritative. Gotcha. So when he says, got it, that's fine, it's going to add to his instructions that big bolded text there saying to go for it. Now why is this description important? Well, this is what decides when it's going to use this file to get the answer that it needs.
So if anything about software, approved software, it knows this is where to find it.
Exactly, exactly. Now, you can point to things like SharePoint, for example, also. The challenge with some of the things like SharePoint is, in some cases, it's not going to index that file until it's actually being queried live. So it'll go through the whole SharePoint folder looking for something, but there's no descriptions on those files. So it doesn't know which file to use, so So it has to scan all the files in your SharePoint
interesting.
folder before it knows this is the file I need, and I'm going to start to index it now. So just a quick heads up, that can slow things down, where if I upload the file, it'll be much, much faster. Awesome. So Devin, you've got your files now uploaded. Let's go ahead and save that. I think you've already saved, but let's go ahead and save that if you haven't already. And give that a few seconds. Now this will take some time to index. We're not going to wait all that time, so we might get some weird results until it's fully indexed.
Okay, gotcha.
I would expect it probably take 15 minutes to totally index. But you can upload hundreds of megs of files here, and it will take some time. But this will be your rubric on what is a good candidate for a job posting or a bad candidate for a job posting, or what is a process for actually installing software or whatever. So it's all the training material you need. And you notice when Devin hit Add Knowledge, for example, if you go back to Knowledge and just hit that Add Knowledge button again, let's kind of show real quickly what else is there. You'll see tons of sources, including non-Microsoft sources like Confluent. And this is just a featured one. So if you go to Advanced, you'll see even more. But there's lots of good sources you can use here to kind of get access to data, including things like ServiceNow, what's the status of my case, or things like websites, it can be web addresses, for example. Same rules apply for your web addresses that apply to the main the Copilot Lite also, our agent builder. Cool. All right. So now that we have that, let's go back and there we go. Let's go and actually try this out. Now it's going to give us some issues. There's one more area we want to do. So I want to go and actually build a topic as well. So let's go and as you go over to our topics section now.
The tab or back in the overview?
In the tab.
Okay.
We can also do it in the overview too, but it's much easier to see it here, I think. Let's go ahead and add a new topic by describing the topic in this case. So we'll add a description. Okay, Devin, this is going to be a software request. And for this topic, you're going to go back to that Word doc, and we're going to cheat. We're going to copy and paste.
I love cheating.
Yes.
All right, let's go back.
That's what I used to say about you in high school. All right, so there it is. This topic is to add the necessary questions for yada, yada, yada. So official name there, right? So go ahead and copy that page. What page are we on there? I can't quite tell.
It's on page 3 of 4.
Okay, gotcha. Look for this. It's on step 7 of that Word doc. Just copy that 1 or 2 sentence box out. Then we'll jump over to our and paste that into the Create a Topic 2 section right there. Now, once we do that, it's going to try to derive how am I going to solve this problem for you.
So should I go ahead and create that?
Yes, let's go ahead and hit the Create button. And a question here from Rich, we are definitely going to cover as well the adding suggested prompts as well.
Okay.
So that's not a problem. We'll cover that as well. Okay, cool. So now that we did that, you'll notice it built the whole topic for you. And
Nice.
it feels a little bit like Power Automate from a user interface perspective.
It does, yeah.
It's very, very different because it's doing different kinds of things here, but it's a conversation flow essentially. I'm going to ask this question, then ask this question, and then so on and so on and so on.
And you talked earlier about an example where you could actually have this tied into like a call system. So these could be audible text that's read back to the user that's dialed in, and they could answer verbally to these as well, right?
So we built one for the county, Devin, one of the counties in our area, where you call in and it basically creates a dynamic CRM task. So you basically ask it a question like, when is the next city council meeting?
Right.
When is what is the policy for getting a permit? What's that process for doing that? Who do I call? And then if you say you have a case, there's a pothole outside my house, it would interpret that, confirm that was a pothole, that I heard you say pothole at your house. Once you did that, it would insert a case in Dynamics, send them an email, and they would promptly ignore that case for the next 2 months. So yeah, lots of cool stuff we can do with that though. But at least that reduced their call volume by 75 to 80% in their case. That was the last number I got. So here we go. So if Devin were to hit the save button, let's kind of explore this here. I'll save this while we're talking here. Okay, so first of all, as we do this, you see it created the topic here. And you'll see as we kind of go step by step down here, it says a tool will handle queries like requesting software, and I need to get yada, yada, yada. So it kind of giving a description of what it's going to do. The questions it's going to ask, what is your name? Okay, we can also derive that automatically. They're logged in, but we're going to keep it lazy here today. And then as we go down, we'll see it also takes that response, stores it into a variable. So it takes that response, you'll see right there, and saves that into a variable called requester name. Then we'll go down and we can actually see, what is your email address? And we'll store that. Again, we can read all this from Active Directory also, but we're being lazy for this purpose.
Sure.
All right. Then it's going to ask, what is the name of the software that you want installed? Again, we'll store that entire user response into the variable called software name. Then lastly, why do you need the darn software to begin with? All right, that's the purpose. Now, what we're seeing finally here is it says something like, is the software needed? That's new. Is the stuff for a specific project? Oh, that's brand new. This is part of non-deterministic, right?
Right.
I've done this example probably 100 times. Never had that prompt show up once. So is it for a specific project? Okay, that's interesting to know though. And as we scroll down, what is the desired date? Again, another new question I've never had it prompt me for either. Normally it's done by then. Now at the very end here, you'll notice it says a message. And it's going to say this message right there, a new software request has been created for you. Now that right there, it's not actually doing anything. So between where Devin had put a red box around and above it, right, that plus button right there, we would need some type of tooling to create a ServiceNow ticket or to send a Teams message to me or to send an email out. This is where the tools come in, folks. So if Devin were to hit the plus button, we're just going to pretend. We're not actually going to do it right now. So if you hit the plus button, you'll see add a tool right there or ask another question or whatever, right? Do a flow. This is where we'll go through and actually create the ticket for us to actually do the work or to send a Teams note over to us. So this is where you can do that though. So just note whenever we do this flow here, there's a critical piece missing to actually do the work.
Makes sense.
Okay, cool. All right, so good enough. We'll skip that for the time being. Just note that when you're building this yourself, with that plus button that Devin just highlighted, you need something there. All right, so last step I want to show you here real quick is let's go over to the topics again, the main topics. There's one topic, you'll notice on the right there it says, what does it say? Hello, I am so-and-so.
Oh, yes.
Yep, on the right side. That's what we didn't show. This is your test pane where you can kind of ask questions. Hello, I'm Agent. How can I help you? That is a terrible prompt right there. And Devin can hit the new button up top. See a little new button, right? There's a little plus button right there. If Devin were to click on that, new test session, it's going to reset that prompt. And then now it's going to say, hello, I am software request agent. How can I help you? So kind of cool, but I want to make that a little more snazzy.
Yeah.
So let's go into a topic. On the left side here, you'll see your topic we already created. But also under System, there's a topic called, there we go. It will be called Conversation Start. This will be our final step for our little demo here in a moment. All right, so this is where it's getting that prompt you saw a moment ago. Conversation Start kicks off every single time a new conversation kicks in. And right now, it's going to say, hello, I'm bot name. Terrible name. This is where we can put back to the question here about one of the great questions from Rich here was, how can I add suggested prompts for the agent? So let's go and actually show how to do just that. So one thing that Devin can do where it has a message right there, you'll see a little plus button, add button right there. And if he hits the add button, he can say a quick reply. This is one way of doing this to Rich's question earlier. We're going to show a different way a little bit later also. So how about we do a quick reply here, Devin? As you type in this, let's put software request. And then hit enter. Now on the right side, you may not be able to see it there, but on the right side, you'll see what happens here. The text that's going to get sent in to the agent is software request. How about we put the title as software request? And the text above it, maybe we put something a little more detailed. I need to make a software request. Something like that. This is what actually gets sent in to the agent, and the word software request is what our users will actually see. All right, cool. So that's a good. We'll stop there. But let's do one more little nifty thing you can do here. I just want to show some little ways of adding some cool accoutrement to this. All right, so you'll notice up in the add button again that there is the ability to add an adaptive card. Now, any of our questions like this, messages, questions can do adaptive cards. What that means is we can stylize this a lot more, make it more fancy. So if we do adaptive card, all right, and then on the right side, you'll see edit adaptive card. We promised 40 minutes. I think we're going to make it.
Nice.
All right, now this looks really confusing at first. But this is an adaptive card, which basically it's creating that schema you see down below. Now, have you done these before, Devin?
I have done them before, yeah. So
Awesome.
I know you can get a lot of more information at adaptivecards.io. So a lot of good stuff there as far as learning how to do it. And other types.
Right. And they've now built it in to Copilot, though. So it makes it super easy to build these. Let's kind of do a really simple one right now.
Okay.
So how about, you'll see on the left side there, an image. Let's go ahead and drag that image over on the left side. There we go. Oh, I think you dragged it over, didn't you?
I see it showed up over here in card structure. So yeah, I think so.
Awesome. Now, for our purpose of our example, let's go and just grab some logo from somebody's website. How about we go and go open a new tab there, and let's look for the University of Maryland's logo, something like that. It comes around on the phone just a bit ago. Hopefully, you don't mind if I use their nice logo here. If you scroll down a little bit, you'll see a nice logo like from their actual website.
Got it.
There you go. And as you scroll down, just grab one of those bad boys and right-click and copy that link. We want the link here. All right, cool. So they've been kind enough to volunteer forcibly their logo for
public information, regardless.
Yeah, exactly. So if you on the right side with that image selected on the left side, the right side you should see the URL. And if you paste in that URL, this is going to look huge at first, way too big. Look at that. But what you can do is you scroll down, you'll see size as you scroll down the right size. Right now the size is auto. Now let's go medium maybe. Okay, great. Well, that's too small. Let's go large. Okay, cool. A little better.
Yeah.
I mean, that logo's not really meant for this, but that's okay.
Right.
All right, next, let's drag over some text on that as well. So drag over maybe text or rich text, one of those two. Let's go with text just for the time being. But notice you have things like text blocks. You have data you can grab from here as well. There's input boxes. You know all sorts of cool things you can do when you ask questions to make it look a lot prettier. So on the right side, you'll see your text on the right side here as well. It'll just be, if you scroll up, it just says text. Here you go. Let's go ahead and say, hello, I'm here to help you with whatever, and call it a day. Oh. I won't make fun of your English or your spelling.
Oh, did I make a mistake?
I'm here.
Oh.
I won't make fun of it, but I make fun of it without saying a word. I just know people are cringing out there. So,
yeah.
all right.
I would too if I was watching.
Yep. That's okay. So if you go ahead and save this up top, and then now what we can do is, this is good, and you can close that after you save it. All right. Now you'll notice it's going to show up here, but we also still have our old thing up here as well. Hello, I'm bot name. So if you go ahead and hover over that hello, I'm bot name, right there, little text there, you can delete that on the right. Oh, hello.
What's going on?
Uh-oh.
Fortunately, I just saved. Let's see. Maybe I just refreshed by accident.
Oh,
no.
Okay.
I didn't save the topic. All right.
All right, good enough. We'll keep on going. All right. Trust me, guys, it was amazing. But what he can do is he can go ahead and let's go ahead and put in your quick reply while we're talking here. So while Devin's adding that quick reply back, these can be used a number of ways. So these are all about making your chat experience very rich and feel a lot more interactive. So you can use these just like that. You can ask for data inputs. You can basically build a form right inside that. Now these can show up in other interfaces, but it makes it really, really clean, whether you embed it on your website or whether you have it in WhatsApp. It kind of makes a nice little interface for that. So with that now done, Devin now done sabotaging my demo, let's go ahead and save this the right way. And we're not quite done, but we are really, really close to being done now. Okay, so that was if you go to knowledge now, I bet you we're still seeing an indexing. That's okay, we'll see how close we are to that. All right, it's still in progress of indexing, but that's close enough. All right, so let's do a test here. On the right side, go ahead and do a new test on the right side. And let's go ahead and try your quick reply that you put in up there. There it is. There's your software request button right there. See it?
Ah.
There we go. I'd like to make a software request. All right, well, immediately went into what is your name? All right, so let's try it one more time here also.
Start over?
Let's do it one more time. This time, let's ask a question like, is Call of Duty approved? Okay, now while you do this, you'll see it's generating a plan. On the left side, look what's happening on the left side here. It knew to go out to the knowledge source, had not fully indexed them yet, but we can see on the right side now, it has said no. You can't do it, but do you want to seek approval for that? Like maybe you run the esports team at your school, or
Right.
maybe you're just bored and you're running a YouTube channel or whatever. So if you go ahead and say yes, it will go follow the same process. Now, granted, you can turn off those little thumbs up, thumbs down. Devin, go ahead and go through the process here and just kind of doing your software request now. Now, as Devin does that, you'll notice on the left, let's put just blah, 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 yeah. It's not going to do anything, so. Yeah, now it will not like that.
Oh, didn't
Look at
like
that. Hey, isn't that cool though?
it. Yeah.
It actually literally checked to make sure you had a valid email address there. All right. Now look on the left here. You'll see that, okay, it's not going to show it this time. We're not tracking cross topics there, but normally what would happen, it would actually show you what step in the process it's at. So you can kind of watch it firing off this through the topic and what's lighting up, what it's not lighting up. Let's go back and finish up your sabotage.
All right, we're going to request Call of Duty. Let's go. That's what my kids say when they play.
Let's go. All right, cool. I get that from my kid, I think. Our kids play games all at night together usually. And let's go ahead. They live like 10 houses down from each other. They insist on playing electronically. I think they see each other once every 2 years in person. All right, there we go. So we got our purpose. And then now we'll say, no, it's not for a project. Oh, look at that. They have a little let us know ticker there.
Oh,
Also,
nice.
little buttons it's putting in there. So it knows some of these, it will put us choices and options and do all that for you. There we go. Put March 3rd. All right, perfect. So after it's done, it's going to make sure that you really mean March 3rd at midnight or midnight. That's weird. All right, there we go. So it said it created our software request. It did not, most certainly did not do that, but it showed us how these can work. So lots of neat things we can do around this, and just to kind of show you what these can do, I want to show you a little broader example here also. So I'm going to jump out to one we built for a nonprofit here. This is actually embedded on a website. That's the last step that Devin won't have to do. So we'll show that last step in a moment. Here is my adaptive card, and now I'm going to go ahead and ask it a question. So this is for nonprofits who are helping nonprofits, right? This is like a directory of all the nonprofits. So I'll just ask a question like, I need housing for my veteran dad who's homeless. Okay, so it's going to interpret that, and immediately the topic kicks in, and it's to say, hey, it looks like you need one of these categories here. I'll zoom in so you can see that real quick. All right, yes, I need veterans help right now. And then it's going to go through and start to show us all the programs in our county that do veterans help. So there it goes, it researched all that, and now do you want a referral? Yes, give me a referral. Which one do you want to refer to? So now it's doing the same kind of process you saw in Devin's case, but now it's doing it over here.
Very cool.
So this is embedding the same stuff on a website and how you can help others with this as well. Let's go back to Devin's machine one more time, if Devin, you don't mind. The last step that Devin would have to do is hit the publish button in the top right. Okay. Now, the reason why it's asking you to force, if you want to kick people out, it's going to basically kick out everybody within the Teams channel that might have a chat open right now and force them to use a new chat instead. So yeah, hit the publish button. You can do that, of course. And that just takes about a minute and a half to do, and then everybody will now see the new version of this. Of course, this is in development. You then want to go and migrate this to production, right, and then actually make that your ultimate thing. Now, as soon as he does that, he can go over to channels, and we can see that now he can publish this to one of these many lovely channels here. And so you can choose like a demo website, for example. Try that one. And we can kind of see, it wants you to have a license now in this case. It's okay. But you can see where we can easily publish this out, or to Teams if you wanted to as well, where it can live in a Teams channel. So what we showed you here in 40 minutes or less was how to do this. Now also, I think we had a question back again on Rich. Would you mind going back to one more time here? Let's cover Rich's question in a slightly different way here also. Now, are we going to show how to add suggested prompts? In the Overview tab, we showed you how to do quick replies, but also in the Overview tab, as you scroll down, you'll see a whole bunch of other goodies here. There we go. And there we go, suggested prompts right there as well. So the same thing we saw yesterday or a couple days ago in the regular agent, we can also do here as well.
Very nice.
So this will show up in things like M365 Copilot, but not inside of our website that we're embedding it in.
Makes sense.
So cool. What other questions do you have? You built a full end-to-end example. Now, mind you, we're not doing the ServiceNow integration, those kind of things, but
yeah. Where could maybe this would be helpful. Where could I go to learn more about the tools integration? We hinted at where it's at and where you could start to implement it, but where can I learn more about that?
Yeah, so we have this channel, of course, but we also have our learning management system. We've got a bunch of videos on Copilot. A great next step is an Agents in a Day class you'll find in a learning management system. That's a free class. And then after that, the introduction to Copilot, where we go deeper into it. And we got a lot more classes in there as well, hundreds of classes on all these AI topics and technical topics.
And then in addition to Copilot Studio, it looks like there's some other tools integrated in here. What are some other things that, as someone interested in building agents, should learn in addition to what we're seeing here?
Yeah, so one of the areas I'd really recommend is of course, learning Dataverse really well, and Power Apps really well, and of course, Power Automate. So generally, there's areas that we had not covered today where we can call out to an automation, for example. We can also call out to a manual, a computer screen reader that can actually click on the screen for you and do mainframe entries. So unlike regular robotic process automation, this one is intelligent enough to actually see, hey, your save button is now called submit. I'm going to hit submit versus save now.
Nice.
So as people move the things around, change the names, it can actually handle that. But Power Automate is a key skill that as you want to create cases and you don't want to use tools, you want to control the exact way it's done, Power Automate is used. And then Power Apps might be used if you want to stage the document.
Makes sense.
For example, you want to create a legal document. You may want to stage that it's now saved in Dataverse in an app, and the legal can then review it, and then they approve it, then it goes to the next step.
Makes sense. Hey, this is really cool. We did a lot in a short amount of time.
We did, and this is all, one of the things we do is our hackathons, where we do what we just did with Devin, we do for you on your own example as well. So check out that. You found our website at pragmaticworks.com. We learn through your examples, not through our examples. And please do subscribe to this channel. We have a whole lot more videos. Devin, tomorrow you're doing one on the Learn module, right?
Yeah.
The Teach module? What does that consist of?
Yeah, so for those that, we've been talking about education a little bit through these last couple of weeks. For those that are actually working with inside of the education space, higher ed or K-12, there's a special set of agents specifically for you called Teach. So the Teach module, there's special Teach agents that are built inside of that module. And so we're going to have a special guest. I'm giving you the boot tomorrow.
Yep.
And we're going to have Justin, one of our trainers, who is also a former educator, is going to be joining me as we go through the Teach module.
Cool. And then one last question here that we had from Wendy a moment ago. Wendy, again, is saving the day with the questions. And this question was about how would I add integration to other tools? And there are RESTful ways of doing that. You can also use custom connectors in Dataverse to do that. But that's a great question. And I think that's all the questions I'm seeing. So please do come. The link for us to review the Copilot. Yeah. So the link here from Edwin, you'll find it in the description of this video. Has all the previous videos and the upcoming video as well. In that link, we'll be here again at 1 o'clock tomorrow East Coast time. And then in a few weeks here, we'll have some sales ones and marketing ones also.
Excellent. Well, hey, I appreciate everyone joining us today. We will see you tomorrow for our Teach module. But elsewise, you'll see us next week with some of those. Is it next week, Brian, for the sales ones?
You know what? The days all blend together. I'm not sure what days now.
Okay, all good. All good. Well, hey, again, thanks for joining us today. We will see you tomorrow and in future streams as well.
Thank you. Please do subscribe to get more information like this also. Have a great day.